Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this program about your Kundalini awakening experiences. My name is Chrism, and I'm your host for the show, and that's what we do. We talk about your Kundalini, what you can expect, what you've already perhaps received, how to cope, how to find your balance, how to interpret the teachings that the new world of Kundalini creates within you. And it's definitely, it's a new world. It's a world that we are not taught how to navigate through in the Western societies. Now, and I say, I stipulate the Western societies because some other societies, they've given us a greater level of validation. They've given the Kundalini a greater level of understanding, a greater level of experience and exploration and study. Whereas in the Western civilizations of this world, they bring it down to a syndrome or an illness or like a mental dysfunction. This great level of divine transformation that Kundalini represents is being downgraded literally to a syndrome, a phenomena that if you take some really, really heavy tranquilizers, can be fixed. And for those of us who understand the truth, Kundalini doesn't need to be fixed. Kundalini isn't a disease. It's not anything like what people might be suggesting in mundane society. It is a gift. It's a gift of grace, and within that gift of grace is a whole cornucopia or cornucopia. I'm not quite sure about that one, but it's a feast of opportunity. It's a feast of development. It's a feast of evolution, and it's a definite feast of how you can go into the next stage of your evolution as a spirit in a body in an exalted fashion. I mean, Kundalini is exaltation of every aspect of who you are, all 5 bodies of expression. Those expressions being the physical, the emotional, the mental, the psychological, and the spiritual bodies, all becoming exalted at the same time. And boy, that can sure change things for an individual. It definitely changes your life, changes the way you look at your life, changes how you would want to interact with life and with other people. And so I would like to welcome everybody here. I see we have some folks here in the chat room, and we've got some call-ins, and wow, people can actually hear me today. Thank goodness for small favors. And maybe that's not such a small favor. Anyway, so I want to talk to you about how you have to kind of reorganize your inner environment in order to accept the many changes that the Kundalini brings. You need to really succinctly change your inner dialogue. Okay, you need to change the inner dialogue. And it's got to be changed in such a way as to allow, let me turn this phone off, as to allow yourself to accept a new level of interaction with yourself, with the programs that exist in society, the programs of life that interact with all of the 5 bodies of expression. And you got to remember these, even though I use 5 bodies of expression as separate entities or separate areas within the body, they are all woven in. It's like a tapestry of your life. And so the mental body is woven in with the emotional body, and the body is woven tightly into the psychological or the ego-centered body, and all of the bodies are tied into the spiritual body, and all of the other bodies in the spiritual body are tied into the physical body, and so on and so forth. And it's like a star, a pentacle. And these 5 bodies of expression are there for us to use as a liftoff platform into exaltation. And so your body is the rocket, and Kundalini is the fuel. It's the fuel, and it's the computer in the rocket, to use the analogy there. But it is. You are lifting off into grace, and grace isn't necessarily up. It's omnidirectional, and so you're lifting off within yourself, and as you lift off within yourself, it's something that you really need to understand. The inner environment must change. The way you talk with yourself must change. You must change the inner dialogue. How you feel. It's like, oh, that guy, he didn't wave back at me, and I waved at him, and I know that he knows me. And maybe he's got an attitude today. It's like, oh my gosh, how dare he have an attitude, not wave at me as I'm driving by? So you got to change that inner attitude. It's like, instead of going into resentment, it's like, oh, I hope his day goes well. He probably just didn't see me in time, or something of a more benevolent nature. For a lot of us within the Kundalini will have extreme levels of amplification come to the smallest little emotional thing. And so, like as you're doing your practice and you're generating Kundalini within yourself, and you may be experiencing spontaneous kriyas and things of that nature, and you need to really, really look strongly at your internal dialogue. What are you telling yourself? How are you telling yourself about your emotional status quo? And how is that a loving, positive, benevolent, pleasurable experience? Or is it because it's all by, you think you're all by yourself, and, it's just your thoughts and you, and is it a negative? Is it hurtful? Is it resentful? Is it depressing? And if so, why? You see, and if you know the why, you know what you need to do in order to correct it. Okay. And these great levels of amplification, especially if you don't know what's occurring, these great levels of amplification can snowball. And what I mean by that, for those of you that don't live in a snowy country, is that as your depression is expressed, well, it will feed off of a negative quality of self-invalidation, which will feed off of a negative quality of how you've been treated, how you feel you've been treated, which causes more of a validation for depressive reality, and it just begins to grow and accumulate, and pretty soon it's this ginormous snowball that's rolling down the mountain of your emotional body, and you don't need to have it. That can change right into a dark night of the soul, which, in many ways, a DNS must be experienced. People must have the dark night of the soul in order to go through the changes, in order to realize what changes they need to go through, and in order to lose a lot of the negative programming that comes from society. Now I got to plug my computer in here. So as you experience the programs from society, and as you experience these levels of say, a negative internal dialogue, consciously change it. If you look at yourself in the mirror and you all you see is that one zit on your face, and you're going, oh my God, what a screwed up zit on my face. I'm just one big walking zit. oh my God, if it's on the end of your nose, like, sometimes people from Ireland get, if that's all you can see of yourself, you can't see the beautiful light behind your eyes. You can't see the beauty of your face, the complexity of of the energy that's coming through your hair, through your skin, through your eyes, and if all you're seeing is the problem, well, that's a problem. You need to not focus so much on the problem that you think is there, and and as it is just it's a transitory thing. It's not a big deal. But with the Kundalini, sometimes because your ego is getting amplified along with all the other four bodies, it's going to get changed into a big deal, and you need to really nip that. I didn't say pop it. I didn't say squeeze it. Nip it. Nip. Stop that thought process from occurring within you with such simplicity, with such an ease of expression. You need to change the way you think. And, that's not so easy to do. It's hard to change the way you think. You may hear this in your life. It's like, well, my feelings have changed and I can't change my feelings. Well, you most certainly can change your feelings. You most certainly can change the way you feel. And it's important that you begin to do so. And you do that by self-correction. So when you look in that mirror and you just see that acne there, and you're just going, oh my God, I'm just that one big piece of acne there. And you say, no. You look into your eyes and say, oh God, look at those beautiful eyes. Look at that beautiful hair. Look at that beautiful, the wisdom in those crow's feet. Look at the beautiful way that this anatomical structure is set up before me, this vehicle into the divine that I have, and begin to appreciate more than you depreciate. Okay, you appreciate more than you depreciate, and let me say it in a different way. You find more goodness than you find negativity in how you are set up, inside and outside. Now, a lot of you have, you're fairly stable in society. Okay, I'm stable. I can go out grocery shopping. I can smile, and I can interact with the clerk and other people, and I can ask, oh, hey, where's the best oranges? And, oh, where did they come from? Are they organic? Are they free range, breastfed oranges? You can interact with society just fine, but when you get home, and even though your house may be, perfectly clean and, there's no dirty dishes and all of this stuff, when you get home, you're not so happy. You're not so easy to be with. And you're not easy being with yourself and who you are. And the Kundalini can amplify that. And, of course, at the extreme end of that is the dark night soul. And at the, in between the not, the positivity and the negativity that can turn into a DNS are these areas of change that you can really, you can mitigate these areas by changing the way you communicate with your inner self. Very important that you change the way you communicate with your inner self. I'm going to run over here to the chat room here, and I see, oh, yeah, everybody, hello, welcome. Nice to see you all here, Thomas and Tanjira and everybody. Good to see you. And so Manisha's still awake. Yay. Stay awake, honey. Okay, so because I know it's late at night in Europe and India and the Balkan area and Saudi Arabia, Africa, and I know it's late, and I know it's late even in some parts of Eastern South America. So if any of you are listening there, do your best to stay awake, and if you can't stay awake, just keep the radio show going and listen to it as you sleep. Some part of you will receive the information. Okay. So incredibly important. Change the way you communicate with yourself. To change what you say to that amazing person that is within this incredible transformation that we know of as Kundalini. You see, you really want to give yourself all the options of benefit that you can. And this means conscious levels of love, conscious levels of self-focused love, not in so much in the egotistical way, like, oh God, I'm just so wonderful. Oh my gosh, my face is in a magazine and, all of that stuff, right? No, I mean acceptance of who you are, how you are, why you are, where you are, what you are. And not just acceptance, but appreciation and gratitude for that divine within you that has allowed you to live through this blessed, corporeal, physical vessel of grace, which is what you are. You may be going through the dark night of the soul. You may be going through some very, very strong levels of refinement. And, these levels of refinement, sometimes you can't really figure out whether it's a dark night soul or what I call a DNS, or just, strong levels of refinement. Whatever it is, you cannot lose faith in yourself and the trust that you have in your Kundalini, in your Shakti, in your Shiva, in your sacred feminine, sacred masculine. You cannot lose that trust based upon outside circumstances. You must accept those circumstances as opportunities to learn, opportunities to change, opportunities to embrace the transformation that's going to happen to you regardless of whether you like it or not. If you're inside Kundalini, you're being changed. Bottom line, there's no escape. There's no escape clause. Okay. You have to work with this. You have to work within yourself. You have to work behind your eyes, behind your behind your heart, and internally in order to begin to accept yourself in a very positive way. And some of you will have this entity chatter in the background. I don't want you to let these entities, you just let that chatter go. Don't pay any attention to it. And they'll be constantly telling you, oh, God, you're so bad, or oh, God, you're not good enough, and oh, God, why are you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? You're so pathetic, blah, blah, blah. All of these things, and you just let that go because it doesn't really matter to you. It's just another school of choosing what it is you feed your concentration. So let's give the analogy. You can go outside and you can just breathe all the pollution. You can breathe all of that pollution and just really, complain about that. Or you can roll your window up and turn that filter on your car and breathe the clean air. It's your choice. What do you want to focus on? Yeah. What do you want to focus on? How do you want to live your life? Do you want to live your life through levels of depression? Do you want to live your life on levels of inner turmoil and inner hurt and revenge and looking to get even with somebody and looking to just go out and hurt somebody because you're hurting inside? Well, no, this is not what you want to do with Kundalini. With Kundalini, you want to look at the balanced equation. Yeah, okay, I've got these issues within me, within my internal dialogue, and I need to change the negative towards a more balanced positive. Okay, and so if you imagine yourself, look at yourself, and you can see like a meter there, like an electric meter, voltage, no voltage, and you want that meter to be right in the middle so that you can see where you need to work and do the work, and yet you're not gonna dip the needle so far into positivity that you don't allow yourself to do the work. The nice thing about Kundalini is as you do the work, the needle automatically goes to the positive side. And I want you to really look at that, to do that work. Do your corrections. If you're feeling like you've been hurt by somebody, then start forgiving them right now. Don't waste the time. What are you waiting for? Remember, we're talking inside yourself. So what are you waiting for? And let's not just go, oh, I forgive Chrism for being such a stupid teacher. He says do this, he says do that, but, it's like, not realistic for me right now, and so I just have to listen to him, and he's got such a monotonous voice, and he's probably sitting in an easy chair right now. And what does he know about all the struggles I'm going through? I could go on and on. And so, what level of truth is your forgiveness? Is it just like, oh, I forgive Chrism? Yeah, well, he doesn't know anything. Why should I pay any attention? I'll just forgive him. But I'll forgive him, I'll just forgive him. And how deep has that gone? I don't think that's even passed down the length of a hair on your arm after you've shaved it off. I think that's barely surface forgiveness. Okay. And so you need to go very, very, very deep into your forgiveness. You need to go very deep in your self-correction. And in our society, we're surrounded with levels of plasticity and artificiality when it comes to being truthful to ourselves. We find many, many, many different ways to block the internal truths that really would be helping us within the Kundalini. We find ways to distract ourselves: pornography, computer games, marijuana, or any of the recreational drugs. Alcohol is a great distraction from being allowed to do the work within yourself. Relationships are a great distraction. Well, she did this to me, and I can't. We're surrounded by distractions, and these distractions are, really, if you allow them to get in your way, then they will get right in your way. They will block your path. You'll have 100,000 people standing in a street that you need to pass through, and they're not letting you pass through. They got their arms linked, and they're going, "No, we don't want you to go forward." And so it's like those protests. So you really need to understand that this is the internal environment. This is where you need to do the really hard work, because it's not going to be supported on the outside environment. The environment where you go to work and you interact with people and you drive your car. Yes, you can bring positivity into the outside environment, but the level of positivity that you bring to the outside of the environment is dependent upon the level of positivity that you harbor within yourself. You've got to make it go deep. You've got to really feel true. And this is the really good thing about a DNS, a Dark Night Soul, is that it really forces you to look deep into your own truth. Deep into your own truth. And to make those very, very specific changes that allow your own truth to flourish rather than wilt under the hot sun of self-deprecation. It's my honor at this time, speaking of self-deprecation, I'm kidding. It's my honor at this time, really, seriously, within all levels of honor and respect and understanding and the gifts of grace that she provides, to introduce Amelia Santara, or Santara Kundalini, to the program at this time. So welcome. Welcome, Santara. How are you?
I'm good, Chrism. Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm good. Yeah. Thank you. Fabulous topic today. So relate.
Did you take care of that acne?
Yeah. Well, I don't pop.
Only if it's
on
the tip of your nose,
bigger
right?
and bigger and bigger until it's got this big, awful, disgusting thing. I tend to let it just go pop on its own, don't I? Yeah.
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 Anyway,
it's a great topic.
Yeah, have you? It looks like we have somebody here that's had a Dark Night Soul, so I'm going to bring him on real quick.
Cool, Chrism. Yeah. Ishmael.
Hello, Ishmael. Hello.
Oh. Hey, sorry about that. I had my phone on mute. How you doing?
Hi, very well, thank you. How are you?
Whew. Definitely relieved to be.
If you're inside of a DNS, let's hear the honest answer.
I'm extremely happy to be able to be in contact with you all. Extremely happy and excited.
God, it's just the speakers on this thing is like I can't hear anybody here.
It's probably
Just
my earbuds.
Just a second, Ishmael. Just a second here. Say something, Ishmael.
Hey, can you hear me?
It's okay. It's okay. It's not you. I'm sure it's my equipment over here. You know, and I can't even say that I'm, old equipment because it should be picking everything up here, and I just don't get why it isn't. Oh well. All right. So that's not. Okay. So tell me what's happening with you, Ishmael.
Can you hear me good?
Go right into it.
Okay. I'll say about 3 years ago, I had experienced sleep paralysis, and my first experience totally just freaked me out. And after that, I had some abdominal side pain on my side that lasted a few days. Went to the hospital. They didn't see anything wrong, so the pain kind of went away. Then I started having this shoulder pain as if I had a lot of weight on my shoulder, and it lasted for about 2 weeks, and it just wouldn't go away. Even if I lay down, wake up, it was just constantly always there. Kind of remind me of a movie that I seen that, it was a spirit actually laying across the guy's shoulder, and he was complaining about the same thing. And turned around, that went away. And then I just started having this back pain that lasted ever since then. Even up to today, I'm still having this back pain.
Where on your back are you having it?
My lower back. It feels more of like a nerve because I'm kind of feeling some nervish going down the left leg too.
So this is what you're calling the dark night?
Well, not really, but a few months ago, I experienced some, I have some, some things with being depressed sometimes, but I've never experienced anything like I experienced a few months back. Extremely depressed, like for no reason, drugged me down to the floor. Like I really just wanted to give up everything. I felt like I was having a panic attack and just a lot of emotional things. And I was actually experiencing some emotional things after my first sleep paralysis as well, being extremely emotional about things, confused about my religion. I just didn't know what was going on. I felt like something spiritual was taking place with me, but I just couldn't pinpoint it. So, I was kind of looking into like different things about being possessed and being, attacked by, spirits and stuff like that. Really couldn't find anything that kind of that relates to what I was dealing with, my symptoms. But more so, what you were speaking about relates to a lot of my symptoms of what I'm going through. And there was another gentleman that was actually speaking about the dark night of the soul that I had watched his video, and he was kind of like saying that it will kind of drag you through the emotional and stuff like that. How you just need to let it just go, don't fight it. So that's kind of what I did. I just let it go, and it actually it gave up, and I was feeling good. I wasn't stressed out about nothing. I felt beautiful. And, now, I'm feeling a little depressed because I'm still having this back pain, and this back pain is killing me. It's dragging me. It's draining me. It's taking so much out of me. I've been to 4 different hospitals. I've been to University, Cleveland Clinic, and I've been to Metro. I'm from Ohio. And the University was the first one I went to. They said it was a bulging disc. So as I was doing the research, it does sound like it was a bulging disc because it's like the little nerve going down the back of the leg, and it's not really as serious as the back pain part. But I went and got, a second opinion because I felt like they wasn't really trying to help me. So I went to Cleveland Clinic. They didn't find anything. I went to Metro. They did 2 MRIs. Came back, everything was good. Nothing was there. So
yeah, that's typically
like
what you'll get.
I'm going through everything. I'm hearing voices and like whispers on the side of my ear. I'm
And all of this
literally
started.
yes
All of this started from sleep paralysis.
from sleep paralysis. Yes,
Well,
it
okay, so
turned my life. It really
sleep
did some
paralysis
things to my life.
really. Okay, I understand. Sleep paralysis is really an artifact of astral projection. You understand that?
I kind of do, but you probably can enlighten me more of clarity.
Yeah. Sleep paralysis is what the body goes through when it, the paralysis takes hold and the spirit is getting ready to go into the dream state or into the astral state, which is where everybody goes to when they go to sleep and when they're dreaming.
Okay.
And so what you experienced there was the prelude to going into the astral state, and that's also often accompanied by some like a loud noise, like a thunderclap or
Mine kind of started off as a dream. I had a dream, and it went off from a dream like reality. Like I'm sitting in my bedroom, my eyes open, and I felt the presence of some military people coming up my stairs, banging on my door. And I felt the vibration of somebody banging on my door. But my eyes were open. I felt it, but I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything. And I also felt the presence of something in my room. Then I started to have other sleep paralysis after that first one. Someone would start off with a dream. Sometimes I wake up out of my sleep into a sleep paralysis. Like I could feel it when it comes upon. Sometimes I get a buzzing in my ear, like a ringing in my ear, then I fall into a sleep paralysis. So it has different ways of my experiences.
Well, I think that it sounds to me like it's happening over and over, right?
Yeah, I haven't had one in a while, but after the first one, it was like occurrence. Like I was having every week or sometimes 2 times a week, and it was
and you're having,
so frequent.
You're having that lower back pain too, right? Do you feel any vibrations at all? Any like internal vibrations?
To be honest with you, I have, but I was smoking weed, like so intense.
What else? What else have you been doing?
I've never felt this vibration ever. It was so stimulating. Like, oh my God, it was so beautiful, and it was all internal. Like it was man, it blew my mind. It really did.
What were you? Do you recall what you were looking at the time that you were smoking the weed, feeling the vibration?
No, I don't. I cannot. But
were
I
you in
can tell you what I was looking at though.
Were you outside?
I can tell you what I was actually, I was on my couch. I was laying on my couch and just relaxing and kind of dozing off to go to sleep. And I was laying there, just it felt like I was in a deep meditation, and I just felt this numbness, and it numbed my back. I didn't feel no pain. I was just laying there, and it's like all through my body. I had something else too that I was explaining to one of my doctors. He said I was having a panic attack, but I don't think it's really a panic attack. Sometimes when I go to sleep, I get this tingling, electrical feelings through my body. It wakes me up. It does not let me go to sleep at all. Like it's so intense. It's not. I won't say it hurts, but it's very uncomfortable. It's a very uncomfortable feeling, and I get those a lot too.
So you were experiencing that as well?
Yes.
Just a second now. Just a second, please. Just a second here. Hello?
Yes.
Oh, God, good. Perfect. All right. All right. So it looks to me like you may have activated the Kundalini more so through the astral projection aspect than, say, through the marijuana. Although marijuana can sometimes do that, depending on your karma, depending on how it's affecting you and what your physiological makeup is. And it sounds to me like, you might. I don't see you going into a DNS. I know that's a hard thing for for you to hear, but I think you're just going straight into Kundalini activation. And the one thing I'm going to tell you is to not pay attention to any of the voices that you hear, okay?
All right.
Don't pay attention to any of those voices. They don't know. That they're actually there to distract you away from going further and deeper into this, okay? They're a corruption. And so you just want to take out any of the voices that you hear and don't put your focus on them. Don't give them your attention, okay?
Okay.
Okay. And also now you've gone the medical route, and they haven't found anything. And so I think you could pretty much give up on the whole medical route, okay?
I pretty much I gave up on that. But I wanted to tell you there was one thing that I have experienced that did relieve my pain. For some reason, there's some type of attachment with me and my daughter's mom, which, you know, she puts me through a lot, and she really dogs me out really bad. Normally, I would walk right away from situations like that. But something internal is just like really, it's making it really hard for me to kind of give up on her. But we had a falling out one time, and it was like really bad. And for 3 days when she left, I did not feel any pain. Like, I didn't feel any pain at all. And then the pain came back. That was the only time I've ever experienced any pain without having to take any type of pain pills or, you know.
I understand. Sounds to me like this is your daughter's mother you're talking about, right?
Yes.
Sounds to me like you may, it's kind of giving you, and it's certainly giving me the indication that you may want to patch things up with her, that even though you guys, you know, may have some disharmony between each other, there are greater levels of harmony to be had by being together. Is that a possibility?
It really seems like it's impossible. More so, her facts is that she assumes all the time I'm cheating, and that's been the grounds of my relationship with her. No matter what I do, I will prove it to her, give her my phone, and she knows where I'm at all the time. It's just she's always feeling like I'm doing something.
It's just trust is all that is. It's just a level of trust.
Right.
But I still feel that there's something. Are you attracted to her?
I love her. Like, yes, I am.
Well, see, okay,
so
I think you need to dive back into it and be a more tolerant person when it comes to her accusations of infidelity. Be more charitable. Be more. Just forgive her. Just say, look, I forgive you. You know, or even better yet, just say that to yourself. I forgive her. I can tolerate this. I know that I'm being honest. I know that I'm not thinking about other women. And that's the thing is like you can cheat on a person by not saying a word and not making any activity, because if you have the Kundalini, and I do believe you're having the Kundalini, your thoughts become very available to the people around you. And so if you're seeing a hot babe on TV or in the movies or walking on the street or wherever, and you look at that hot babe and you're going, oh, damn, that's a hot babe, right? She just picked up on that. And now you're all of a sudden cheating. And so it goes to a level of complete engrossment in who she is, how she is, what she is. Now, I'm not saying she's right by doing this. I'm not saying that's a correct attitude for her to take. It isn't. But
I wanted to, from our research, it's kind of, I had stumbled across a narcissist type person. Like, I kid you not, she has a personality like a narcissist does.
Oh,
she will lead you on, and she's very confused about what she wants.
It's all about her.
It's like I jump in a relationship all full for her. I'm very supportive, but it's just like when I need support, I have to ask her for it. She doesn't just give it. She sees I'm struggling. She knows I'm dealing with a lot. She doesn't care, but she's constantly always just bringing so much pain to me. It's like she doesn't care. And it's just like I'm telling her, like I just texted her, I told her, like, look, I really need you by my side as a friend. she takes back like, oh, this is what you call, she just basically just belittle me reaching out to her. Like, she treats me so wrong, and this is like, it's so hard for me just to walk away from her. It's like really my situation with her. It's just like I can't win for losing.
I understand what you're saying, and so you still must forgive.
Right.
You still must forgive. Narcissistic people are there to really train us into levels of self-confidence about ourselves, levels of internal trust. Now, you see, you have another component to your life right now that you didn't have before. You have the sacred feminine coming into active experience within yourself. You have sacred masculine coming in, and this is what the Sanskrit people would call Shakti and Shiva. So you have the Kundalini coming into you, and it is a conscious force. It's listening to this conversation we're having right now. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And it's there to help you begin to understand yourself beyond the parameters that you've ever understood yourself before. And so as you mentioned, this goes right into what I was talking about earlier when I started the show. You must begin to change your inner environment. And I'm not saying that you're going to have to stay with a person that is, constantly deriding you or constantly committing actions of invalidation and actions of a depressive nature. I'm not saying you have to stay with that person, but what I am saying is you do have to interact with her to some degree by virtue of having a child with her. You understand?
That's true. Yeah, I understand.
And so constant levels of forgiveness and tolerance. Because, with a narcissistic type of personality, you're always going to, fall short of whatever expectations they have, right? Because it's all about them. And so you just need to forgive that part of her, and you need to tolerate it when you hear it. Just tolerate it. You don't accept it. You just tolerate it. It's kind of like, it's like, an analogy would be the dead petals falling off of a flower. Okay. You still got the new petals there and the flower's beautiful and all, but, some of that stuff just needs to go. Okay. So when she expresses it to you, you don't catch the petals and try to make the petals, the old petals, dead petals falling off as vibrant and as communicative as the new petals. Okay. So you just let that go. You tolerate it. You listen to it. You look her in the eye and say, whatever you need to say that does not allow you to believe a word she is saying. You just accept that she's in a pattern of narcissism, and that you can give her compassion, you can give her sympathy, you can give her healing, you can give her whatever it is she can have, but she may not accept it. And so you become really focused on your daughter and being there for your daughter and being a good father to your daughter and being a good provider for your daughter and really, zeroing in on your child so that the child is feeling a greater balance between the two parents. You don't have to buy into the narcissism, but you can't really run away from it either. It's not worth what you'd be sacrificing in the relationship with your child.
Yeah, it feels like I sacrificed a lot. I give her food money. I pay for my daughter's medical. I've been spending time with my daughter throughout the week, and she just wants to control everything. She wants to tell me. She wants to tell me I'm not doing nothing. She wants to take my time away and tell me what days.
Look, she can tell you whatever she wants, but you know what's right. You know what you're doing. Right. Okay? So just stick with the internal truth that you know is there, and don't let what other people say bring a level of invalidation to yourself. You know what is true. So you stick to what you know is true, and you're there for your daughter emotionally, mentally, spiritually, your physical force there. You're taking her to these places, and you're really there for her emotionally. So that's important. The other important thing is that because you have levels of Kundalini activation occurring, what the mother of your child, her accusations on you will take on new life because of the amplification from Kundalini. Okay? And you need to just realize that it's amplification from Kundalini. It's not anything to do with what she is saying. It's everything to do with your own inner energetic environment. Everything is
right.
That's going to be stronger to you. Everything.
Right.
The sound.
That's what I'm trying to figure out, because it's like I've been really dealing with this back pain for like 3 years now, and it seems like this is the only thing that I'm really.
The back pain is from the Kundalini too. You should be doing the safety protocols right now, the Kundalini safety protocols. And you can reach that by going kundalinisafeties.com on your computer, and it'll take you right there. You need to start practicing that twice a day. But especially the emotional behavioral modifications, because emotions are a level of self-generated internal energetic vibration. That's what an emotion is. And it deals with levels of well-being or not so well-being. And so the great divide between, feeling great or feeling really bad, that is the polarity that you have to work with. Okay. And so what you really need to do is really need to change your inner emotional environment from a depressive state to a more positive, self-accepting state. And you need to do this intentionally all the time. It's like I was saying, when you look in the mirror, what do you see? Do you see oh God, there's this guy with all these problems? Or do you see, oh God, there's this beautiful guy, that has Kundalini, that has this blessed gift within him, and he's trying to work with it, and God bless him as he goes through this. That's the person that I'll suggest you begin to see. It's easy on this world to dip into the negativity. It's easy to dip into negative programming, negative interaction, listening to somebody that has a narcissistic issue, say you're not doing this, you're not doing that, and some part of you is going, oh God, maybe it's, let me think about that, and partially accepting it. I don't want you to accept it at all if it's not true.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I feel. I don't even want to be around it. I just want to be by myself. I just want to remove all the negativity out of my life. It's just like I'm so worried right now.
You won't get all the negativity out of your life. What I'm saying is you need to learn how to handle the negativity and transmute it towards a more positive thing. It doesn't take the negativity out. It just changes your response to it. Okay. Changing your response is the main thing, because, somebody else could hear her going on and on about you, and they'd be going, oh man, she's really digging into him. But you, because you have the Kundalini, you're changing the way you receive it, and that reception is positive. To the outside people, it's still going to be a negative interaction, but to you, you've changed it from a negative interaction to a positive reception by virtue of your Kundalini.
And it does seem like how she comes at me, though. It's just like she's trying to get a response out of me sometimes, too.
Oh, she's digging. Absolutely. And people will do this. Employers will do this. Perfect strangers will do this. Friends, family, people will do this. And what they're trying to do is, because most of them, they have a spiritual infection within them, and they want you to join that infection. And so they'll try to cut you down, and they'll try to bring you over to their level of self-invalidation. And you just don't need to play that game. Mm-hmm. You don't need to play that game at all. Okay? And so I see you in a very positive space, really, Ishmael. I see you in a very positive... Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm a very person. It's just... I'm dealing with a lot. It's so much it's draining me. It literally is. It's like more so the back pain is just
no more. No more. It doesn't
It just feel like I'm not able to do a lot of the things. It just feel like I'm not able to do a lot of things that I have used to being able to do. I'm spending so much on money trying to take away the pain so that I can be able to work and, provide for my family. And it's just like, it's draining. It really is.
The safeties will take away your pain.
I just want some relief.
The safeties will take away your pain. Hey, can you tell me how far down the spine that pain is?
It's more so on the left side. It's more on the left side. I think it's like the fifth disc. I think that's what they said my bulging disc were. I don't know if that was true or not.
Did he definitively say it was a bulging disc?
Yes, they said it was a bulging disc. That was the first MRI I had.
That nobody else could see?
Right, and I had 3 MRIs after that first one, and they couldn't find anything. And these were from different clinics, hospitals.
I'm going to say it's the Kundalini. I think the first one, the one that diagnosed the bulging disc, was just guessing.
Right, I agree with you.
Yeah. So let me go there right now with you. Just a second.
Because I felt like it was more spiritual in the beginning.
Yeah,
everything was like, when you question yourself and you're just like, what's going on? I just honestly felt like there was something within myself, spiritual, that was taking place. That's why I had sleep paralysis.
And it is, because it started out with the sleep paralysis, which is a spiritual state. So just
I have a question
here. Well, hang on a second. Are you feeling the pain right now?
Yeah, I feel it all day, every day, all night. It doesn't go.
Just a second. Let me do something here and tell me if you feel any kind of a cessation or a change in it. Okay.
Okay.
What do you feel?
I feel a little relief, tingling, nerve feeling.
Yeah. Just a second.
Going down the left leg.
Yeah, let me see if I can increase it. Just a second.
I feel much better. It really does.
Yeah.
I still feel the nerve in my left leg, but that back pain, it feels a lot better.
I want you to say, thank you, my Shakti Kundalini. Go ahead, say that.
Thank you.
Say it 3 times.
My Shakti Kundalini. Thank you, my Shakti Kundalini. Thank you, my Shakti Kundalini.
I want you to start to recognize her force within you. She can mitigate this pain. The pain really is all about your not recognizing the gift of grace that is beginning to manifest itself within you. The fact that it's going down the left leg, the left leg is the leg that she usually starts with. You also might feel tingling at the sole of your foot, and you might have a black big toe. Do you have a black nail on your big toe there on the left side?
I've never noticed one. Nope, I don't think so.
Okay, that's it.
I have a question when you have a time.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Okay, go ahead.
I have a question about the sleep paralysis. When I do have my sleep paralysis, I feel touching. I feel heat from hands rubbing down my face.
Oh, that's good. That's a good thing.
I just wanted to ask you, what should I be doing in my sleep paralysis? Should I not be fighting it? Because I try not.
Surrender.
I try not to fight it anymore.
Yeah, surrender completely. Surrender completely. Do not try to control it.
Okay.
Okay. And as you surrender, you'll start feeling vibrations going from the base of your feet to the top of your head, up, down, up, down your spine. You'll feel it. And they'll start to increase in their frequency, so they're going really, really, really fast. And that's typically when a person will feel the pop or hear the pop or the thunderclap. And boom, you're separated from the body. And now you can literally look down and see yourself sleeping. And the hands that you feel on your face will guide you to a place in the astral where you can receive more teaching about what is happening to you. It's all a very, very helpful process. Okay. And Ishmael, you were designed to have this in this life. And that includes all the blockages and the traumas and the trials and the difficult parts of your life were there on purpose. I think if I look deeper into your
I'm
equation,
starting to see it like that. I'm really am.
But the reason is because karma need to be balanced before you could have this Kundalini activation that you're having. Okay, that karma needed to be balanced. And so if you can remember, if you were abused as a child, or physically, mentally, sexually, and psychologically abused as a kid, were you?
No, I wasn't.
Did you have any kind of
child?
You were what?
I was depressed growing up as a child, but I was
Why?
never abused or sexually abused.
No. Why were you depressed?
Honestly, I don't know. I just felt bad for myself. I felt bad. Like I would look at elderly people or handicapped people on the streets, and I'd be like, "Ooh, I wish that was me and not them." I've always had that mentality growing up. Like
what a beautiful sentiment to have as a kid. That's very nice. So good. So you didn't have to go through some of the harsh areas that other people have had to go through with regards to burning karma in order to have Kundalini activation occur. So you had some depressive moments and boom, all the way up. How old are you now?
36.
So you're 36. Wow, there's a Kundalini number. So you have it now, though. The Kundalini's come to you. The fact that just a second here. Are you feeling any kind of like a headache, or do you get a sore spot beneath the base of your skull ever?
I have a history of migraines. I get them.
See,
I get them frequently. I get them a lot.
That's more Kundalini right there.
I've experienced pressure in the forehead, inward and outward.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of experiences. I was just trying to wrap most of the stuff up from the sleep paralysis and everything that led up to what I'm dealing with now.
No, the migraines are Kundalini. That's another Kundalini sign and a symptom there. And I was just noticing some symptoms in your upper spine. Ishmael, you have Kundalini. Nothing is wrong with you. The only thing that is really giving you a lot of pain is your resistance and lack of understanding to what is occurring. Now that you have an understanding, and you go straight to the Kundalini safeties now, you go straight there and you start to really accept and embrace this beautiful level of transformation within you. I mean, you are like a butterfly in the making right now, and nothing is wrong with you. Everything is going right for you. It's just that our society doesn't teach us about this area of life.
Yeah, and they think it's crazy. They think we are crazy for real.
Exactly.
That's how my doctor. Because my doctor, he asked me like, "Well, what happened? Did you hurt yourself?" I said, "No." I started to tell him about the sleep paralysis. Oh, they looked at my chart and they seen that I had a little depression. They started playing me like I was crazy. Like,
it's like time for the Prozac. Where's the Prozac card? Bring the Prozac card. Yeah.
I swear they didn't sugarcoat it. They played me like I was crazy. And I shut up. I haven't said anything else to no other doctor since then.
And don't, because it will not help you. Okay. I want to congratulate you.
I feel so much better.
Ishmael.
I want
to congratulate you. Yeah, you're doing great. Now, just a second before we disconnect, I just want to go a little further into your an energetic anatomy here. Just a second. Watch out for the bright light stimulation for the migraines. You don't stare at bright repeating lights. Don't do binaural beats. Don't do those things. Okay.
What's binaural beats? What's that?
Good. If you don't know it, don't explore it. It's an artificial way that people use sometimes to excite Kundalini. You already have
vibration.
It's a sound frequency, a syncopated sound frequency, blending frequencies in a certain way to get a psycho-spiritual response, and you don't need it. You don't need it at all. It'll just give you, it can lead into another migraine. How's your back right now? How's your left leg?
It feels good. I'm so thankful right now.
Well, constantly let that be the new mantra for you. I am grateful to you, my sacred Kundalini. I am grateful to you, my sacred Kundalini.
My sacred Kundalini.
Write that down and just let that be a daily mantra that you have, as you experience, because you still might have some of that pain going, through your leg, because anytime you get Kundalini, there's an expansion that occurs within the body, and that expansion affects the tissues of the body, and bone and flesh. They're all just different frequencies of tissue, and so as the Kundalini comes into that tissue and forces it to expand, you're going to have pain. Okay. So for a little while, and you might start having spontaneous movements too, and don't let that surprise you. Those are called kriyas, and you surrender to those completely as well. You let it twist you into whatever yoga position or whatever jerking or shaking type of occurrence happens. Surrender to it. It's perfectly normal, natural. Everything's good. Okay.
Do you have any specific positions, like sleeping positions? Because I know some cases, like if I sleep on my stomach, I'll wake up and my back will hurt worse than normally.
I would say for you need to sleep on your right side.
My right side, okay.
Your right side, and if you can have your palms pressed together, that cliche sleeping position where they have people with their hands, under their head using it as a pillow, right?
Right.
That's one position you can use. Another position as you're sleeping on your right, your index and your thumb tip need to be touching.
Okay.
So your pointer finger and your thumb tip, those need to be touching as you go to sleep, and that will help you a lot. Matter of fact, I have to do a video on that. Matter of fact, that could actually begin to eliminate the pain in the spine altogether. Thumb tip and fingertip. And I also want you to keep your tongue tip behind your upper front teeth. So unless you're talking, sneezing, laughing, eating, coughing, talking, whatever, keep that tongue tip behind the upper front teeth. There's a little fleshy mound there, and that connects the cranial circuits to the thoracic circuitry. And that will also tremendously help.
Okay.
Fingertips, tongue tips, okay? And go to KundaliniAwakeningSystems1.com. That's all one word. KundaliniAwakeningSystems1.com. And you can read some of the information there. That should help you a lot. As well as going to KundaliniSafeties.com. And that is a direct acceptance of what the Kundalini is bringing you.
Okay.
Ishmael, it is an honor.
It is an honor here. I appreciate it so much. I'd love to keep in contact with you all.
Please do. The show is here once a week.
Okay.
And you can also go to, are you on Facebook?
No, I'm not on Facebook. I have an Instagram, though.
I don't have Instagram. I probably ought to. Go to Kundalini Awakening Systems 1 at YahooGroups.com if you wish. There's a
okay.
That under that name. And pleasure.
I'm following you on YouTube though.
Oh, okay, very good. Yeah, so you'll be seeing a new video coming up pretty quick.
Okay. I actually just found you guys like probably a few days ago, and when I stumbled across one of your other videos, it was like Blog Talk, and I'm like, oh God, good, they're on Blog Talk. I get the chance to talk to them, so I'm like searching for the number and tried to win your name in Blog Talk, and I actually found you, and I'm like, yes, I was excited.
Remember to say, I'm grateful to you, my sacred Kundalini. That's what is taking that pain away. So
Okay.
if you feel the pain, intensify, say that mantra, say those words, and see what occurs, okay? Stay in touch.
Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, my friend. I'll let you continue listening to the show if you wish, okay?
Hi, Chrism.
Yes.
I just want to tell you that you have a few questions lined up. You've got Indra, she's next in queue, and then you've got a gentleman called Mohan, who has a question for you after Indra, and you will have another lady after that again, Chrism, okay?
Thank you. I'd like to go with the new listener first, though, okay?
Okay.
Here we go.
Sure.
Hello, new listener, I think. Hi. Area code 617959. Hello.
Oh, hello.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
How may I help you, ma'am?
I wasn't sure. Are you able to ask questions, or I'm not sure how it works?
Sure. You can ask me a question. What you got?
So I'm dealing with medical issues. So
okay. First of all, let me say right off the bat, I am not a medical practitioner in any country or province of this world, and so therefore nothing of what I say should be construed as medical advice. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Understood.
What's your medical question, my dear?
Oh, so I'm just trying to see I don't even know how to formulate my question.
Just do your best, honey. It's okay. I mean, the nice thing about this is it's just radio, and it's, nobody sees you, and so it's just words that are being spoken. So it's just you and me here.
Yes, I'm just dealing with, not being able to sleep, not being able to gain weight.
Not being able to gain weight, you say?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Are you smoking?
No.
Are you on some sort of a spiritual diet or cleanse?
Not a cleanse, but I changed the way that I eat.
Are you a vegan?
Trying to become one.
Don't try to become one.
Okay.
If you want to be vegetarian, that's just fine.
Okay.
But don't go the vegan route. Okay, that is not a healthy route. No offense to any of the vegans listening to this, but that is not a healthy route. That's more of an ego choice than it is a nutritious choice.
Okay.
And that is probably why you're not gaining weight. I would like you to invest in coconut oil or any of the brain oils like butter, organic butter if you can find butter, and cheese, and get some good vitamin B12 sources just to begin to resurrect some of the patterns that you've been pushing aside.
Okay.
Let's see here. Yeah, you don't need to do any kind of fasting. Okay, no fasting for you at all.
Okay.
But on the other side of it, I'm looking at no artificial processed white sugar or flour either.
Okay.
So keep yourself very, very clear and clean. There's a purity to you that is driving you towards something like veganism. You have a purity within you that got misconstrued with veganism because veganism is, they're saying that the Essenes were vegans, and they weren't. and there's all kinds of what they call compassionate eating or compassionate consuming, which isn't, because everything feels, everything has life. Even the plants have life, and they feel, and they're telepathic, and all of that. So nothing is going to be consumed without considerable amount of stress and trauma. So it's not compassionate at all. It's just kind of the story that they put on top of it in order to entice people to becoming vegan. One of the things that I like about veganism is they don't support factory farming, except they do, because the factory farms will produce plants, and they eat the plants. And so what I would like you to understand is that there is a sacred space within the equation of life needing to consume life in order to continue life. So let's just say you eat that head of lettuce, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, such a butternut lettuce or whatever that good lettuce is. And as you eat the lettuce, you say to the lettuce, thank you for becoming part of me and living the rest of your life with my life. So it's a marriage of life. Okay, it's a marriage of life. And it's a beautiful combining of one life force with another life force. And that extends all the way through, even the people that eat the meat, it's the same thing. And this is what the Native Americans practiced as well. They would always say, your soul goes to the great Father, but your energy comes with us and joins us in our tribe. Welcome, my brother. Welcome, my sister.
I like that concept of praising your food before eating it. I like that a lot.
So as you do this, you'll be able to gain weight, especially with the coconut oil. I want you to really have at least a tablespoon of that a day. If you could just dig it right out of the jar, that's what I do. And then, and of course, look into the cheeses, look into the butter if you enjoy that. Look into some of the organic, perhaps sprouted breads if you have an appetite for bread.
I like the spell.
Go with that, and then go with of course with the beans and the all of the different varieties of life that are available to you in the grocery store, and try to get as natural as you can be. Okay, look into honey. Yeah. Look into high levels of honey in your diet. Okay, and I think you'll do fine. And I hope that answers at least a question about you gaining weight. I think you'll gain weight as you begin to embrace this new lifestyle.
Okay, I mean, because I have been on the venture of clean eating. It's challenging at times, of course, but I've been trying to stay real focused on that. And also, would that also help with bringing my blood count up?
With your blood count, yes, that will help with the blood count. Certainly, the ingestion of the cheese and the coconut oils and the butter, but you need more of a blood builder, and that's going to go into the animal area. Okay. And one of the best blood builders is lamb. And
lamb. Oh, okay.
You would use the same attitude with the lamb. You say, my brother, my sister, thank you. Your spirit goes to God, but your energy goes and joins with me, and I welcome you. I welcome you, my brother and sister. And you consume that lamb with full gratitude and full awareness of the prana that is coming into you from that lamb. And that is an excellent blood builder, at least once a week.
Okay. So what is it within the lamb that helps? Because I would have thought you would have said liver.
No, it's the components, the combinations of nutrients within the lamb that
Okay.
that when mixed with the combination and the need for nutrients in your system will help that hematocrit grow.
Okay, so organic lamb, basically.
Yes, and
Okay.
compassionately harvest it too. Okay.
Great. Thanks so much.
You're very welcome, and I'm going to let you listen to the rest of the show. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Here we
Blessings.
go. And going right up here to Indra. Oh, I guess Indra's on. I don't know. They got this new keyboard here. Hi, Indra.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you? What's your question?
Good, good. My question is, well, it's not about my Kundalini energy because my Kundalini energy is very balanced and very beautiful, so I'm enjoying it right now.
Okay.
So I have a situation. I'll give you the situation, and I'll tell you a dream I had about that situation, okay?
Go ahead.
So I met a guy about a month ago, and, you know, we really seem to like each other. And recently I found out, like, he's like a high-functioning alcoholic, which he hid really well. Like, he's high-functioning, right? So he hid it well. I recently found out, right? So
Right.
what happened was I kind of went on defense. I pulled back a little bit, and I was praying about it. Like, I didn't talk to him for like 3 days, but I was praying about it, and I asked the Kundalini for help and to direct me and tell me what was the right thing to do here.
Okay. She sent you a dream. She gave
yes.
you a dream. What's the dream?
My dream was he was sitting in this house, and I was there. And what happened was he was in a lot of pain. He was sick of the lifestyle he was living, it seems like. And what happened was he was in a lot of pain. He was like in physical pain, mental pain, all aspects. And I'm looking at people trying to comfort him, and nothing worked. So I walked up to him, and I held him. And when I held him, Kundalini energy from my heart moved from me into him, but I can see it. I can see it move from my heart to him. And as it touched him, he stopped crying. He was comforted. He looked relaxed and very relaxed, very relaxed, very comforted. And he turned into a baby into my arms, and I grabbed a blanket and I wrapped the blanket around the baby, and the dream ended.
Yeah. So that's a very clear indication is that his drinking is basically covering up, some severe pain that he suffered with regards to not having a positive maternal influence in his life. And so he covers that up, and he's able to function well around it. But when he comes in contact with the sacred feminine, your Shakti, she blows through all of the defenses and all of the shields and all of the cover-up, and she goes straight into the problem. Now, the scenario is I think that you're going to have a conversation with him, a conscious conversation that he needs to stop drinking. He needs to stop it.
I already did. When I found out.
And
go ahead.
And that your Shakti will begin to help repair the emotional body that has been damaged, through that lack of appropriate maternal care, and that you will need to hold him, but not in perpetuity. Just for the time of healing that it takes. He needs to be able to stand on his own without going towards the alcohol, and without him becoming, switching addiction, from the alcohol to you.
Wow.
So that's the challenge. Cindy.
Well, I won't let that happen. I'll keep my eyes open. I really will.
Okay.
I honestly, I pulled away from him. It's been 3 days I haven't talked to him, but I didn't pull away from him in an inhumane way. I pulled away for guidance, and I prayed, and I had that dream where I could see it coming out from my heart and going on him. And the thing is, when it left me and it went into him, he felt it. He could feel it. It was something because when I looked at him.
Well, he will feel this. He will feel this, Indra. Definitely.
Right. So, Chrism, this is the question.
Okay.
Go ahead.
What's the question?
What do I do? Do I have to end this? Do I help him and end it?
No. You embrace him, and you hold him, and you ask your Kundalini to give him the healing that Kundalini feels is appropriate for him.
Right.
Okay, but you got to be aware that he's got entities.
My God.
He's got them.
Okay, we slept together. Am I at risk?
Oh my God, it's all downhill from now. I mean, uphill. Excuse me. I'm kidding. No.
Oh my God, come on. Because if I had a dream like
you heard me say it's all downhill.
Go ahead.
It's all downhill, which is a good thing. No, I think that you're being given an instruction from your dream to give him a healing. So just do it.
Yes.
And
yes.
But hold him and have that conversation with your Kundalini.
Okay.
Ask her to give him that appropriate healing. Not an addictive healing, but an appropriate healing. Yeah.
Okay. So is this a relationship that I continue?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Like go ahead with the relationship?
Yeah. I mean, don't marry him tomorrow, but yeah, let's
no.
see how the alcohol cessation goes.
Okay.
And you'll know
when
because
I confronted him.
Will tell you. Yeah.
Okay, and when I confronted him, he reached out to me. He opened up, like he didn't hold back and hide, like he came clean. He told me much, like he spent like a whole hour opening up to me, and he said, "Listen, please help me." I mean, he doesn't know about the Kundalini, but he said, "Please help me." And I said, "Well, I'm here if you need to talk." He told me all about all the drinking, and he said he hated it. He's sick of it, and he just wants out of it.
Well, so I think it's a continued relationship up to this point.
Okay. Chrism, thank you so much. It's been weighing on me.
You're welcome, my dear. You're welcome. I'm going to let you listen, okay?
Yes, thank you.
And coming down to Mr. Mohan here, I believe. Yeah. And hello, Mohan. How are you?
Hi, Chrism. I'm good. How are you?
Hi. Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. So I had been asking a couple of questions.
Okay, go ahead.
I have a couple of questions for you. So one thing is I had a Kundalini awakening halfway through, and I had a conversation with you on Facebook the other day. And
was it a good conversation?
Yeah.
Okay. That can be a little rough on people sometimes.
Well, you're breaking.
Go ahead. What's your question?
My question is, after the Kundalini awakening that happened halfway through, I lost like 10 kgs. That's almost like 20 pounds in the last 2 months.
Good. That's
and
a good thing.
Is it a good thing?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not working out. I'm not on a diet or anything.
That's fine. No. It'll drop away. The Kundalini takes over your endocrine system. And your endocrine system determines what level of activity your body has in burning the fats and using the proteins that you take in. It changes. Kundalini takes over your metabolism. Okay. And so that's how and this is very typical. This is how you lose weight with the Kundalini, is that she takes over your metabolism and you lose weight whether you try to or not. Okay?
Okay.
So that's normal, and you can be grateful for that, because that means she's taking a direct control and a direct hand within your body, okay?
Okay.
What's your next question?
The next question is, how do we distinguish between, like, I've started hearing some voices, like, accept Chrism as your guru and take a Shaktipat from him. I don't know what exactly Shaktipat does to an individual, but I'm keeping on feeling that thing coming into my mind. I don't know if it is my ego mind or my Kundalini that is talking.
Okay, well, let me ask you, are these words actual words that are coming to you?
No, it's coming as a thought.
Oh, well, then that means that you need to do that. That's from your Kundalini.
Okay.
So take the Shaktipat.
How do we distinguish?
Go on to, well, you can distinguish it by, typically entities will use actual words, like, and it'll be a form of corruption or a form of communication that has the possibility to inflict harm on you or other people, or a description about somebody that is not nice or is corruptive. It's fairly easy to distinguish them, but what you're describing to me is Kundalini.
Okay.
Take the Shaktipat, my friend. You're getting a little bit of it right now.
Okay. And
if she's telling you to accept me as your guru, then you must accept me as your guru.
Okay. Yeah, then I'm accepting you as my guru then.
Well, then I guess I'm accepting you as my... What's the other end of the guru? The devotee?
Shishya, the disciple.
Disciple.
The
there
student.
We go. Student. Yes,
yeah.
Yes, and I accept you because you cannot deny the Kundalini, and neither can I.
Mm-hmm.
See, so we're both held into a very specific pattern of behavior towards each other by virtue of Kundalini. Kundalini controls our lives. And if she says, Chrism, you must accept this person as your student, then I have no choice. It's done. It's a done deal. It was done, Mohan. The minute you felt that thought, the very second you felt that thought, it was done. It was a done deal.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh,
and
thank you. Thank
one
you,
more question.
Shakti. Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever I get some thoughts or feelings, like I notice synchronicity, like when I'm thinking about something, if I'm not sure if it is right or not, I see like repeating numbers on my phone whenever I look at time. Like, should I take it as a sign or like it's just
what
happening like this?
You're seeing a repeating number?
Yes, repeating numbers. On a daily basis, I see them, but whenever I'm thinking about something, like say for example, one of my friend is asking me to give him some money. In the past, I've given him some money which he never repaid, but he kept on asking me for more money, and my mind said like, don't give him, you won't get it back. But suddenly I get a feeling that
don't do it.
And suddenly I get a feeling that you have to help him, and I look at for like time, it will be like 3:33 or 4:44 or 5:55.
Oh, I see what you're saying. No, you don't have to help him.
Okay.
You don't have to help him. You can help him, just not monetarily.
Okay.
Because what you're doing is you're helping him to be dishonest. If he's saying he's going to pay it back to you and he doesn't, you're helping a dishonesty, right?
Oh, okay.
Does he say he's going to pay you back?
He says that now. This time, like he wants to take this money and to repay me back. He's investing it somewhere to get more money.
Yeah, but he doesn't, right?
He didn't in the past, but I took it as a sign and already gave him some money.
Well, see if he pays you back. Everything is going to change for you. Mohan, everything's going to change for you.
Okay.
Kundalini She wants me as your teacher because I see through the lies.
Mm-hmm.
But she also realizes that as she comes stronger within you, you're going to become extremely compassionate. And so, what you need to, you'll just need to run it past me first before you start giving people large amounts of money.
Okay.
Okay? You'll need to run it past me first. And as your guru, I will guide you in these areas.
Okay.
Okay? And I want to say congratulations to you for having Kundalini in the first place.
Thank you, Chrism.
Thank you, Mohan.
And
thank you very much.
If I want to take a Shaktipat from you, like what are the options? Like should I meet you in person or?
Are you on Facebook? Are you on Facebook?
I am. Yeah, I am on your
group.
Join
Chrism Kundalini Shaktipat. Join that group. I'll be looking for you.
Okay. I'll do that.
All right, my friend. Thank you for calling in.
Right. Thank you.
I'll let you listen, okay?
Okay.
And let's see here.
You have another question. Drop down to the end, Chrism, there.
Okay, I'm coming on to Thomas here. Hello, Thomas.
Hello. Hi, good evening. Hi. I really didn't have a question, but I was so interested in listening to you. I put you on follow a few weeks back, and wouldn't you know, today the internet goes down. So I was lucky enough to grab your number. But while I do have you, because I was chatting away, but I don't know if they went through. I want to thank you first of all. I'm very grateful to hear someone of your caliber, and I don't mean to put you on a pedestal or anything like that. Just someone of your ideas that has the courage enough to just come out and speak the truth. For all your listeners who follow you in any which way that they divinely find fit. I stumbled across you a while ago, and I was without a computer for, God, it must have been about a year. But I found you again, and I just wanted to say thank you.
Oh, and I'm grateful for your gratitude as well, and we can both be grateful to the grace of the divine that flows through us both.
Oh, absolutely. About 2 years ago, I believe I went through the dark night of the soul, which was more than a night. Let me tell you, it went on for almost a month. And it went from
years for people.
It went from losing my spirituality, my prayers, I was brought up Catholic, so I have special saints and archangels that I love to talk with. And I lost all interest in all spirituality, completely. No interest in it. Depressed, constantly. I had voices to wake me up at night in my dreams, telling me that the pain I feel in my stomach, and I did have a pain, was liver cancer.
Oh, yeah, of course. Of course.
And I mean, I am a deep sleeper when I want to be, but if a mouse drops a fingernail, I will wake up and hear it. And I woke up in a ball of sweat. I couldn't breathe. I was having an asthma attack. I was having a panic attack because I was bipolar, and I had been off my meds about 4 or 5 months before because of what they were doing to me. And I picked up, just researched holistic medicine and started to do a lifestyle change, started to do my own type of exercising. And I found out about 6 months into it that this is all Sanskrit tradition. And I don't know why I don't know why I was led that way. I was drinking medicinal herb roots like ashwagandha and bela, and I mean, I had 7 of them. I would take twice a day, and I was when I came out of this, I'll call it a gratefully miserable experience. I mean, I was so free. My inner being was free. I felt so good, and I carried on my practices, my tradition, my universal. I found out that I was actually doing yoga, part of the Indian or Hindu tradition, and my meditation opened up for me once I started researching more about Hindus and their tradition and Sanskrit and Ganesha, one of the deities I knew about for years and didn't know where it came from. So,
it came from your Kundalini, and you know that you're not bipolar, right?
Well, I know that if I let it happen, I can swing either way. So I like to swing positively in manic states whenever I can, because after my manic episodes, which can last for weeks, and I feel good about it, I have clarity like
I'm not
you
sure.
wouldn't believe.
I'm not sure. I don't think those could be classified as manic states. I think they would be blissful states. Those are bliss.
Well, it's not quite blissful because I'm holding out for that key card. That's why I keep doing what I'm doing.
Well, there are frequencies of bliss. Bliss, not all bliss is the same.
Well, no, it's not. It's different for every individual because we are indivisible. We're just one. Once we can control our mind and our emotions instead of being slaves to them, it's an awakening. It really is.
There you go. Good.
I said to myself yesterday as I was coming out of the shower, and it stuck with me. I was going to write it down so I wouldn't forget it. I said out loud after my mantras, I said, I'm not going to be a passenger in this experience anymore. Meaning,
good for you.
My life experience. I said, I'm getting in the driver's seat now.
Good for you, Thomas. Good for
you. And it's very
positive. It's a very positive message you're sending to people. Not be the passenger, be the driver. Be the driver.
But I must admit, I know hardly next to nothing about Kundalini. I really do not.
Well, I
know it's an awakening of your chakras or something along that lines, and it's an amazing experience if you can get through it. But I'm not sure
I think you're a candidate, Thomas.
Excuse me?
I think you're a candidate for Kundalini.
Oh, I probably am. I mean, I've been a candidate for everything I've set my eyes on lately. And everything works out well.
Think about what you're doing. Think about what you're doing. You're calling in to a Kundalini program, and you're talking to a person that gives Kundalini Shaktipat, even over the phone. Yeah.
Even over the phone. That's right.
Even over the phone.
That's right.
So think about actions. Actions speak louder than words.
They do, and that's why I'm very sarcastic in my mind. When I come downstairs and the dog peed on the floor because I didn't hurry up and get down here to let her out in time, instead of going off and reacting, something grabs hold of my mind and says, "Stop that emotion," and the brakes go on, and it's really my fault. She had an accident, so it's like, "Come on, Lily, let's go out now," and I mop it up, and it's all peaceful, It's all
good. I'm glad that you're nice to the fellow mortals with you, and it's very important to realize that love is trans species. Good on you, Thomas, for not shouting at her.
You were speaking about forgiveness earlier, before my internet cut you off, and I had a particular incident come across my path in September. I got a divorce after 28 years, and my daughter, who just turned 18 on the 8th of November, took residence with my ex-wife, someplace else. and I haven't seen them. And it was an awful divorce. And things went the way I did not expect them. And instead of feeling all this negativity, because they had me removed from my home, and while I was removed under a court order, they took every possession I ever owned. They emptied out my house.
Right.
And I ended up forgiving them. I had to talk myself into it, but once I did, everything just fell into place. I sent them, I don't think it was love. I do love them still, but I just sent them all the inner peace that I can give to them and hope that they have a particularly very good life from here on out and a protected and healthy.
You sent your entities to them? Is that what it was?
My energy.
Oh, your energy. Oh, okay. Oh, good,
yes.
good.
My vibrations, my emotions, my heart.
Yes, I understand.
I conjured up a feeling, and I hope they got hit and knocked over with it.
Oh, good for you. Good for you, my friend.
Nicely
done.
And, but I've come to a conclusion that I didn't remove the negativity, because that took too much energy to forgive them, to forget about this, to forget about that. I just took the whole big picture and said, I'm just going to replace it instead of remove it, because it's much easier to replace it by sending out emotion, by sending out every feeling I have in a good, positive way. It's so much easier. It's like putting a frown on your face and putting a smile. It's two different worlds.
Right. Well, I just want to say, nicely done, and continue to do that. And I think things are going to get a lot better for you in the very near future, Thomas.
Well,
because of
my future is now. So as long as I make myself in the now very pleasant and easy flowing and positive, man, I'm at so much peace. I am.
Good.
I really am.
Good, my friend. And thank you for spreading that peace to us and calling in.
Oh, anytime. Hopefully next week I'll be in the chat.
Okay, we'll see you then. Go ahead and put you. Oh, there we go. Gosentar is so fast.
I know. I think I slightly cut you off there, Thomas.
I apologize. Sorry, Thomas. That wasn't me. I'm innocent.
That was me, Thomas. I'm like trigger finger today. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Yes.
Imagine 10 minutes to go.
I know.
I haven't
it's
even asked a question. Wow.
Go. Ask a question though. I mean, let's cover some of the folks.
Sure, I will, of course, Chrism. But that was wonderful. Those questions were wonderful, and it's really nice to have people come in and ask their questions. So it was lovely listening to everybody and their coming in.
The time passes so fast when that happens.
It does. So the question that I have, first of all, is just a private question, and it says, on the healing group, why do some people send healing and some people send prayers of healing? What's the difference?
The difference is if you have permission from the person, the actual individual, to give a healing, unless it's an animal will always give you permission for a healing. But a human, because of their sociological structure, their religious beliefs, or something of that nature, they may not want you to give them a healing. And so you give a prayer to the divine to give that healing for whatever purpose that the divine sees as appropriate. And this way you're not giving from your Kundalini directly into that person who doesn't want you to do that. Anybody can pray for anything. You can pray for, anything for anyone. And the divine will determine whether that is an appropriate gift or not. Over.
Thanks, Chrism. From the group, does everybody experience loss? That means when you do any kind of spiritual activity or read a spiritual book, you reach some unknown hidden place in your mind, which is so strange. You don't know where you are. And you go, where am I? So it's about loss. Do people experience loss in Kundalini? I think.
LOSS?
Yeah.
Like lost time?
Yeah, actually, I'm not too sure now. I don't know where you don't know where you are now, and the question arises: where am I?
No, not everybody experiences that.
I was wondering about binaural frequencies.
Yeah,
and using them during meditation.
Don't use those. As I was telling Ishmael earlier in the program, that's not something that you want to, or that you even need to go into.
Okay, thanks, Chrism.
Yeah.
There was a few questions on Kriyas, and it was: do they have to happen to a person going through the process? Do they clean blockages, or do they help clean your energetic anatomy?
They're not blockage. They're not blockage removers. The Kriyas aren't. Although, I don't want to be absolutist about that, because sometimes they do, but for the most part, they're an expression of an infusion of Kundalini into the energetic anatomy. It's much the same way as if you filled up a water hose and you see the hose move. That's the same thing with the energetic anatomy and Kundalini. It's such a powerful force, just like the water in the hose is, that it'll move that body, it'll move that physiology, and it'll shake it, it'll move it, it'll put it into positions, and it's not for just one reason. It's there's levels of expansion, there's levels of infusion, there's levels of that coinciding with the response of the body, and of course it can initiate healings as well. It can be a very healing force for people. I got to watch Lasha here. She might turn us off here. Be nice, kitty cat. And so no, it's not about removing a blockage, but it makes you aware of a blockage that you can then remove yourself. Like forgiveness. If you have a blockage against forgiveness, well, then the Kriya comes up and excites that blockage, brings that forgiveness to your mind. You're like, we'll just, with Ishmael, he's thinking of his ex-spouse or his girlfriend, and that image of forgiving her for her narcissism may come through. And boom, once it comes through, the Kriya, well, you can begin to actively go to, okay, I understand. I forgive this person. I no longer hold any kind of a resentment or anger towards this person, and so on. Over.
Person writes that they were initially hesitant to put this question on the forum, but they started to get signs. So here is the question. I've been going through this experience for some time, and I thought it had left me until last night when I woke up around 5. Tried to meditate but couldn't. Tried to sleep but couldn't. And at the end, when I slept, I saw the most horrible sexual dream. This especially came when I was trying to ignore my body's need for sex. Maybe they were hungry. I'm not scared of them, as I know it's there for a reason. This has been teaching me about myself and me, the sexual being. But I would like to understand where your learnings and how did you overcome them, if for people who have experienced this.
Huh.
I wonder.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Okay, thank you.
Well, I always get in trouble when I go into these areas. I always get in trouble. So she's been repressing, or this person's been repressing themselves sexually, or trying to get a control of that, I guess. And she had a dream where entities came to her and showed her like a disgusting sexual experience. Is that right?
I would think so. It was horrid, but she doesn't specify. Yeah.
And she acknowledges that this is a teaching dream, so she doesn't want to, these are entities infecting that person, and so these are corrupting entities, and so what they're doing is they're teaching a level of corruption to this person to try to insinuate a corruption into her Kundalini process. So there it is. Now, I'm not sure it's a her, but I keep saying her, so maybe it is. And she wants to know what the teaching behind.
I need to interrupt. I need to interrupt you, Chrism, because she started it off, and it is a her, by saying, my question is for those who have gone through the succubus and incubus experience.
Oh, well, that certainly clears that up then, doesn't it?
Thank you. I hadn't asked the whole question. Yeah.
These are, the succubi, incubi, they're definitely corruptors. They are there to corrupt, and they're also there to stimulate as well. So they corrupt and they stimulate and they harvest the sexual energy from the individual. And so what you want to do is refuse to be harvested. Okay, you are not a soybean growing in the middle of a field for a corrupting entity to come up and harvest. Neither should you participate in detrimental sexual practices, BDSM, or bondage, something with a D, domination, sadomasochism, or some sort of thing like that. So hurting yourself and having sex while you're hurting yourself. Don't do that. Okay, that's something that they will push you towards, and this is probably some aspect of the horrid dream that she was given. It's actually an occurrence. So stay away from pornography. Stay away from self-stimulation for a while. Put your energy into hard work, hard exercise, strong devotion to your Kundalini, strong levels of, if you have a guru, then give yourself to the guru. Strong levels of devotion and worship and prostration to the Kundalini. Give yourself intensely to Kundalini. Even if you have a guru, give yourself intensely to the Kundalini. And give yourself to the Kundalini to the point where you go to sleep with the Kundalini. And don't be afraid to push that succubi and incubi away. I punished mine. When they came to me, they weren't happy campers. Okay. And you can wake yourself up. You can also program yourself to wake up as they're there, and boom, once you're awake, they cannot harvest from you. Okay. So there may be a tug of war for a while over control of your sexual anatomy, but also the energy that's coming from you. They want to take your energy, and they're going to try to twist your desires and your sexual expectation in certain ways in order for them to harvest your energy. And so it can be very, very, very disgusting. And it can also be very attractive. They'll place themselves inside of an equation that they know that you'll respond to very well. And so they'll use that as an attractant to have you begin to express yourself sexually. If you're a guy, your libido will be increased to a certain degree where you'll have an erection, and you can literally feel them pull the semen up your penis. You can feel it come from the testicles and through the vas deferens and up towards the tip of the penis, and it will literally explode itself into them, and they harvest that life force, and it becomes dead fluid. It becomes like a dead fluid. And same thing with the women. You'll feel the orgasm growing and growing and growing, and then boom, they will either insert themselves into you or position. Well, actually, they will just insert themselves into you. That's what I'm getting with that. And you need to not do any kind of sexual stimulation whatsoever with that when it comes. And men, as good as it feels, you need to turn that off. Turn it off. Wake up. Go to the bathroom. Get a drink of water. Whatever it is. But don't let them harvest your energy. Over.
Thank you very much, Chrism. do we have, time do we have left?
We have 3 minutes. So I'm going to say, any
Yeah.
last words? Make whatever announcements you have. I believe we're starting to put together another German seminars. And so this is being put on by Manisha Manish, and she's on Facebook. And Santara, do you have information about that?
I don't right now, Chrism. I suppose I'll just say that Manisha is organising it. It's not in Berlin. It's going to be in a lovely other area of Germany, and she let us know about it. And she has already got people signed up for
and it's a
it.
hard name of that city to pronounce. I was looking at that going,
yes,
how the heck do you say
I was avoiding that. But it's going to be restricted numbers, and it's very much going to be on a first come first served basis in Germany. It's probably going to be happening next May. So if you're interested, get straight on to Manisha, because she's closing it after a certain time, because it's a small and intimate seminar this one is going to be.
15
which
people.
is nice
15,
to have as well.
15,
I think
15
so.
people,
I think so.
Yeah.
And she has a good few already interested. But she let us know about that. And I just want to tell people that if they want to support Chrism, if they want to make a donation, please do so. You can go to the www.Kundalini Safety's website, and on every page there's a little bit that says about Chrism, and down at the end there you will see how to make a donation. It's written make a donation in writing, and just click on that. Chrism also has a PayPal account, and I'm tap dancing here now as I'm trying to get what is that PayPal?
Okay.
Thank you.
It's Chris ChrisMitchell 369 at yahoo.com. If you put that into the PayPal window there, they'll direct you to that. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that called in and everybody that's here each week. And last words, we've got 90 seconds. Go ahead, Santara.
Thank you to everybody who called in. I love when people call in on the phone. So do it again next week. Thank you very much, Chris. That was a wonderful show.
Yeah, it was a great show. And thank you, Atlanta Seeker, Michelle, Tanjera, Tim, Thomas, Vicky, and the other people that came into the chat room. Everybody who's listening in the archives, future people. And I just want to say thank you to Rosemary, Joey, Mohan, Ishmael, and the new caller, and Indra. Everybody, thank you for participating in this show, and we'll see you next week. Here we go.